spot here where it's going to drop another tornado, David. So this is just a very, very active storm here. Rich, come back, pull back a little bit, and tilt down. Tell me what road. Let's see what Street Scope says. Tilt down, tilt. Yeah, no, tilt down, tilt down, tilt down, tilt down. Right there. Portland Avenue, okay. Portland Avenue and County Road 69. So right now I'm tracking Portland northbound. I'm just on the east side of Portland. Looks like we're going to have another one start up here just to the left of the screen there, David. At any moment. It's on the ground. Rich is telling me that the condensate's on the ground. So, yep, that's right, right out the door again. It started another one. So, just very active along this line here, David. It's just dropping tornadoes one after another. But you know, we had just an amazing shot from Bob Mills, Scott Who's 9 there earlier when we showed 2 tornadoes, both of them on the ground. They both dissipated and then got the third one just to the north of it here. So anyway, Rich said this one possibly may be heading towards some homes. But yep, we got another one on the ground. That one's on the ground. We got 3 of them now. Hey, Greg, where's Caleb for me? Sweet. I think it's looks like we may, yeah, it may be up to your right, Rich. It looks like Oklahoma 51 and North Bay Avenue on Street Scope here. I can't really tell, David, but I mean, just the way things have been going this afternoon, I would say that's on the ground. I would say that there's something on the ground. I can't really see it with my eye right now, but I mean, it's just been popping up all along here, David. Just, you know, one area goes with a tornado, it dissipates, and then up further north of that, it drops another tornado. Now, this is north. This is the far northern part of this storm before it hits the back of the rain here, and I believe something was on the ground with this one, Dave, if it's not still on the ground here. I don't know if you can see back there, if you can see any condensate or not, but it looks like there's a whole lot of dust and stuff down below this, and it is spinning, David. So anyway, this is north of there. Like I said, let's pull back wide. Let's go back now. We'll go pan back to the left just to make sure nothing else drops out. We got those right there too, David, that possibly could drop another tornado out of those because they're rotating and starting to come together here. So again, there's two areas again here, David, that anything could drop out at any time. And wow, what an afternoon. Yep. Yep. That whole thing's on the. I think it. Yeah, we're dropping. Temperatures dropping. We are coming up to Marshall, past Lovell. Yep, looks like that one's on the ground. It's getting up into some scud, man, low level around these hills. Okay. I'm gonna. I got him back on. Look at that wall cloud up in front. Oh my gosh. That that's yeah, but that thing is the whole thing is on the ground. Yeah. That must just be scud going across the ground. Because I mean, say again. Getting close. Okay, roger that. Yeah, it's hitting this cold deal. It's pushed it down to the ground, just scud and everything. Well, you're exactly right, David. It has moved into this colder air, so it is basically just kind of turning into scud. But that wall cloud's been sitting on the ground. Man, I mean, you can't even see any daylight in between the horizon, you know, the ground and the cloud. But it's not spinning like it was, David. It is totally kind of collapsing now. We can pan around to the right here. We're starting to move in, and you just kind of see this whole line here is kind of getting ragged. A lot of scud hanging around, but nothing like the rotation we had minutes ago, David. So again, street scope showing me on Kelly and County Road 62. So again, we'll keep tracking it, David, but it looks like we may have finally reached the end here. Jim Garpoint live from Bob Mills, Scotty's 9, back to you. I'll just have to get over there, man, and try to rendezvous with him, then we'll pick out a spot, Greg. He might be, well, depending on how far north we go, we may be able to, I don't know. Where's he at? Do you know where he's at right now? Okay. I was going to say we might be able to make Perry. I don't know. I don't know if we could do Perry or not. I don't think we could do Perry. It's right off my nose. Okay, I'm gonna have to break here, Greg, and head over his way. Yep. Yeah, well, it's done that pretty much right now. So it's where we are. The temperature's dropping pretty fast. The scud's getting all the way to the ground, so it's pushing me down. Hang on, let me see. Let me see where I'm sitting here. Yeah, tell him just go to Guthrie. I'll meet him at Guthrie. That'll be good, Greg, because I'll probably have to go south anyway after this, right? Yeah, roger that, Greg. I'm about 7 minutes out. Okay, roger. Yeah, this will work out good because we'll refuel and we'll probably have to go southwest anyway.
Rising's good. Got something coming down right there.
Any of the rotation right now is actually in the middle of the storm, but we're watching it to see if it kind of redevelops as it crosses the border.
Okay, Eric, I know we'll be chatting with you throughout the afternoon, so thank you, Eric, for joining us here on the KVUE 5 airwaves. We see that storm that you are currently looking at. It is going to be that area of rotation just south of Hollis, moving up to the northeast. This storm all by itself definitely has the potential to become even more significant. So Gould at 438, Reed at 501, Mangum at 510, Hester, and then Blair at 511 and 518. This is an isolated supercell. These are always the ones that can become even more significant and more substantial as they're all by themselves, moving into a very unstable atmosphere. We have Chris Lee, Stephen Jones, Eric Kelly on this cell right now. As we look back up to the north, you can see here's going to be Storm Command looking into this cell right here that is going to be very close to Marshall. We also have Nick Bender. He is going to be in Lovell, watching that cell that's moving up towards Covington and Douglas. And then we have another storm that's going to be southwest. So as we look at our rotation tracker, look at our velocity, this cell headed up towards Perry still continues to show rotation. Still properly warned on, definitely with this environment. This cell that Storm Command is on, down by Marshall, you see it on the left-hand side of your television screen, that storm moving up to the northeast. So let's go out to Michael Armstrong. Michael, give us an update on what you're seeing from your cell.
Damon, just southwest of Marshall along Highway 51. We're looking at an area. I don't want to paint the picture like everybody's having a tornado, but I just looked over at Kyle just a second ago and I said, I think the whole sky's spinning. I mean, Damon, when you're up here near this warm front, where I'm at in northern Oklahoma right now, anywhere along this front, any sort of just updraft spins. There's just so much rotation in the atmosphere that can be drawn up. And so, like rain showers can be tornadic today. I mean, that's how wild it is. So you're seeing multiple lowerings, and no matter where I pan on my 360 camera, up and down, just along Highway 51, you see more lowerings. And for instance, I just looked at a cell that's down near Kingfisher. It's got pretty strong rotation, and I don't even think it has a strike of lightning with it. It is going to be, it's straight west of Kingfisher, probably very near Lacey. That's going to be moving up to the northeast to near Dover and toward Hennessey. So we're going to target that storm for right now, unless something else we see catches our eye. But this storm has really come up quickly southwest of Dover.
It has, yeah, and I expect that a lot of storms are going to come up quickly today as these storms continue to move up to the northeast here. So it's only 4:23 in the afternoon. This is usually when we reach that max heating, that peak heating of the day. This instability is going to continue, and you can see our rotation. Our rotation is really starting to ramp up. Sky 5 is right in front of it. As a matter of fact, Sky 5. Let's go ahead and go full with Sky 5. If you're living in Perry right now, Perry, this is what you need to know. This storm has had a history of producing tornadoes, and it still continues to produce that significant rotation that we see on radar moving up to the northeast. So this storm is not done yet. Right now, Sky 5 is going to be southwest of Perry. Let's go out to Chase Rutledge right now. Chase Rutledge, we are watching the storm. Chase, we know the storm has produced many tornadoes throughout the afternoon. Really in the last hour, they've been hopping across the ground, but the rotation still seems pretty strong. What are you seeing from up in the air looking into the cell?
Oh, yeah, that's right, Damon. Like you said, it's been very active. This cell, what we're looking at right here is just to the south of Lucene, like you said, just southwest of Perry. And moments ago, right before you went to Michael, we had rotation and we had some debris on the ground, had some rotation spinning up, and then it went right back into the cloud. But it just goes to show you that this at any time could produce a rapidly spinning vortex and a rapid tornado that could do a lot of damage in this area. So people in Perry, people in Lucene, you need to really get ready with your tornado precautions, because at any time this could produce a tornado headed your direction. Damon?
Yeah, and we can definitely see that the visibility, it's very hazy with this storm. It's very, very low cloud deck. Just one of those days where visibly hard to see. You can definitely see some light in there. I saw that. But this cloud just continues to get lower and lower and lower. So if you're in Perry, once again, Perry, you need to be going into your tornado shelter, innermost room of your house. Abigail just informed me that the Ditch Witch headquarters, they let everybody out of work early today, rightfully so. But you can see that rotation right near Lucene, moving up to the northeast. This is the same cell, the same storm that produced multiple tornadoes at one point about 30 minutes ago. Fast-moving storms, still moving about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So Ditch Witch headquarters, which I know is very close to Perry Elementary, 436, 437 Perry Elementary, Red Rock 456, Sooner Lake 503. We go into Marlin at 506. Ponca City 522, Ponca City High School and Ponca City Airport right before 5:30. I know Ponca City, you're not included in this tornado watch. However, the lines of this watch it does not stop at the county. Okay, very well could bleed even a couple a county or two deep. So you got to watch that one. This cell right here continues to show increasing rotation from Loyal west of Dover. That is moving up to the northeast, putting a storm track on that cell. Hennessey at 447, moving at speeds about 45 miles per hour. It's going to move in fairly quickly. Marshall 507, Covington at 519 with that cell. Abigail, I know you have a lot of information to pass along. Give us an update on the news desk.
Storm sirens now sounding for our friends in Red Rock, just a little bit north of the Perry storm that we're tracking. Also from the Perry Police Department, there are no official public shelters in Perry. So innermost room in your house, storm shelter in Perry. And like you said, Ditch Witch went home early. Also Langston, I've heard from a few of you in that area. Langston University canceled class today as well. Here in the Metro, Damon, I quickly want to mention, as people make their plans for this afternoon and this evening, we are supposed to tell you, do not seek shelter in those underground tunnels in the downtown Oklahoma City area. Many of you have thought about that. You're making your plans. Those are subject to flooding, so you don't want to be there here in Oklahoma City as you make your plans for severe weather later tonight. Damon, back to you.
Yeah, great advice there. I know a lot of us are trying to find shelters, and once again, there are a couple, but still, that is not one, and never under a bridge. Never under a bridge. Watching this cell over Dover. That's still showing rotation, moving up to the northeast. That's all by itself has good inflow into it. That one could very well produce a tornado. Let's go all the way out across into western Oklahoma. We'll go out to Shane Helton on his storm, because moving into western parts of the state, we can see many more cells now coming in. So there's Shane looking right into this and looking into Eric. That inflow is coming right on in. Shane, very concerned about this storm that is just north of you. Moving into Eric, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Yeah, Damon, this storm has a lot of motion right here underneath what the rain-free base area. What you're seeing right here in the center of the screen is, I'm not ready to call it a wall cloud yet, but this is the area that something may.
They're in my package. Right, I'll be ready for a tag if I can. Am I still on delay, or do you have me? Oh, well, they're good now. They're good. Okay, I'll do my tag. Perfect. Here my package. I'll do my tag. And now something called a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. Parts of Texas and Oklahoma. The particularly dangerous situation tornado watch has been issued for parts of Texas and Oklahoma. And now something called a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch has been issued for parts of Texas and Oklahoma.
Which one's better? Depends on where they want us to go from here. They lost our shot. There we go.
That's right.
I come around to the right to the highway. That's looking off the tail. Bring it around to the, yeah, follow the highway. Keep coming till it disappears. There you go, right there. Stillwater.
Okay.
So they should take our shot off where it's dead and Stillwater.
Skyline control room. We need to break off of this one to go get some fuel in Stillwater.
It is. This thing is. Need to try it again, Kyle. We're headed down Highway 81. And we're just south of Hennessey right now by a couple of miles. And this storm is wrapped up, Damon. It's got a hook echo on it, straight southwest of Hennessey. Kyle, let's slow down and look for a spot to look for here. We're kind of watching the trees here to see if we're starting to get any inflow. Right now, we still have winds out of the west at the moment. But this storm... It has an ominous appearance, Damon, and I saw this just a little bit ago on Highway 74, and there's a lot of motion in this cloud base just to our south. Look down here, Kyle. Look how fast that's moving right here, just crossing Highway 81 in front of us. Oh my gosh, yeah, that is hanging very low. Damon, we're going to keep a close eye on this. I'll let you know. I don't see a tornado yet, but I'm just telling you, this has the look to it. It just has the look.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you need out here this time of the year is to have the look. And so that is where Michael is. That's where this storm is spinning, and Michael's not that far away at all from this cell moving up to the northeast. So still has that look, still sees that rotation southwest of Hennessey. Nothing on the ground, still watching that one closely for you. So let's go. Got a couple of storms to work on here. Let's go up to Perry, since that storm is going to be very close to Perry. Get an update on. Okay, Michael. Let's go to Michael.
Ground.
Michael.
Oh, tornado. Yeah, tornado south, just south of Hennessey. There it is right there on the ground. I was just telling you that. It had the look, and there it is. This storm needs to have a tornado warning on it immediately, Damon. You just saw it spin up right there on my 360 camera. That's exactly where I was looking. That is just to the east of Highway 81. Yep, there it is. Tornado continues.
Yeah, we see that. So, yeah, that's a tornado. Again, this could be a tornado warning for Hennessey. Hennessey, this is a tornado warning. Once again, this you just saw that live here from field meteorologist Michael Armstrong and Storm Command. He is on this storm. So that storm continues to spin, dropping a tornado every now and then. But that's it right there. So it was just on the ground just a second ago. Now moving back up to the northeast. But this is very close to Hennessey, very close to Hennessey. Once again, you can see where Michael is located. So this is going to be, let's see here, Michael, let's keep your shot up. Let's put the radar up so we can see exactly where Michael is. So Hennessey, you need to be going into your tornado shelter. That's where the area of rotation is. Michael's looking just to the west. So that is the spin. Once again, Hennessey, this storm, which just produced that tornado there right in front of Michael, 440, Fairmont, 512. Covington, 515. Michael, go, what are you saying?
Yep, more condensation. Another tornado right now. Just stop, Kyle. Please stop. We have a tornado right now. I'm going to try to zoom in on it. It's just to the right of that do not enter sign. Right here. This is where I just saw. You can see it spinning rapidly. That is rapid rotation right now. We are 4 miles south of Hennessey with rapid rotation 1 mile to my southeast.
Yeah, so Hennessey, once again, this storm has produced a tornado. This coming in from field meteorologist Michael Armstrong. This is Hennessey. You need to be getting ready to go into your tornado shelter with this storm right now. This storm continues to produce a tornado. You can see that rotation in this storm right now, and this one continues to show signs of strengthening. So this storm, tornado warning, needs to be on this cell right here, bedded up in towards Hennessey. That's a well-defined lowering. You heard Michael mention just moments ago. Look, this has that look to it, rightfully so, as it's moving up to the northeast. So this could be a tornado warning. This could be a tornado warning. Let's see here, a different cell, but. Okay, so we got a couple tornado warnings. We have a tornado warning out for Harmon and Jackson. This storm has produced a tornado. We've already seen it, and it's likely going to do it again with the environment that we have in here. But out to Michael. Hey, Michael, give us an update. We see you panning across the sky. Give us an update on what you're seeing right now.
Well, that's part of the problem, Damon, is there's multiple areas of rotation within these storms. So I've got another area of rotation over here to my left, right over that wind farm. Look at that. So right there, look how, you know how tall those wind farms are, but listen, that is so low to the ground. That is unreal, and that is all spinning right in there. And we have the area that's produced the tornado just a moment ago right here. So all of this is rotating.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is all rotating. So once again, Michael's going to be just southwest of Hennessey, but Hennessey, we are watching this one closely. You saw that tornado there. You saw it twice. southwest of Hennessey. That's where Michael currently is located, and this storm continues to rotate, moving up to northeast. Let's go back over to the radar and go all the way out to the west. We have a number of warnings that we need to touch on right now. We have a number of warnings that we need to look at. So, Jonathan, let's go out to the west. Go out, look at the latest on what we'll label a Shane Helton cell, which is going to be this storm right here, making its way up towards Sayre. Still has a tornado warning on it. Making its way now, it's now well into Texas. It's now well into Oklahoma, moving out of Texas here. So that cell right there, still showing signs of rotation just northeast of where Shane is located, very close to Sayre. And if you're in Elk City, I know that this one's going to be one that you're concerned about as well. We're watching it closely. So this storm still continues to spin. Shane, we're watching the storm closely. Give us an update on what you're seeing.
Thing is dropping a lot of rain. There's definitely some flooding there in Eric and lots of ponding on the highway here. So there's a lot of rain coming out of this. Now, there's still a lot of motion the motion looks like rotation, but I'm not quite seeing anything that is tornadic yet. Now, or even I'm not even seeing a wall cloud yet. And it's moving off here to the east, and we're staying right with it. I know Buck's real close to me, and we're both watching it and confirming what we see together. But right now, it's just dumping a lot of rain. I haven't even seen any hail yet. Oh, cloud bases. Cloud bases are about 200 feet up in the air. Back to you, Damon.
Okay, yeah, we're watching this one closely. So if you're going to be in western Oklahoma, Shane is on this storm, and Shane's going to continue to ride this storm as it makes its way towards eventually Eric, Elk City, and Sayre. That is the cell that we're watching. Also watching this one down by Hollis. That's a well-defined inflow. I mentioned earlier, I did not like seeing this storm doing what it was doing all by itself down by Gould, south of Hollis. This is a tornado warning as well down in Harmon County until 5:15. This one's racing up to the northeast. And so at this current track, you can see the storm track. Let's go out to Stephen Jones. Stephen, real concerned about this storm that's near you. Give us an update on what you're seeing.
Oklahoma here in southwest. We're keeping an eye on the supercell that is now just crossing just east of Hollis. We are looking at this storm, and rotation's really starting to pick up, and the environment that it is going into is classically indicative of strong to violent tornadoes. So we should expect to see this storm ramp up over the next 20 to 30 minutes, and we could potentially see a large tornado on the ground, hopefully in our view, probably in the next 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah, so we see that. We definitely see that happening, and I think that storm's really going to become probably one of the more dominant storms all by itself. So as we see with that cell moving up to the northeast. So that's the story right now with that storm moving back up. On the left-hand side, you see field meteorologist Michael Armstrong in Storm Command. He is in Hennessey right now, and that storm has already produced a tornado. We saw it there in Michael's shot. This cell still continues to show some rotation. Let's go out to Michael. Michael, we see your shot. Give us an update on what you're seeing from your vantage point.
Damon, this is the rear flank downdraft coming around the back of the storm. We're in Hennessey. The tornadic circulation is just to the east of Hennessey, but the winds are cranking here in Hennessey. There could be some damaging winds in Hennessey as this storm moves through. We're going to move back up to Highway 51, track it to the east here, east of Hennessey, and basically do the same thing we did in Crescent. But I'll tell you, the winds, they are... Yeah, I don't even have time to check my anemometer right now, but I will here in just a moment and see what the peak wind gust was. We probably got winds anywhere from 50 to 60 here, and we're not even anywhere near where the tornado would be yet.
Yeah, we definitely see your picture there. Definitely some gusty winds that are coming in. As we look downstream and what the next couple of hours will likely look like across Oklahoma, what we see unfolding now is a big line, a big complex of storms. And so as these move to the east-northeast, we're about to go into embedded severe thunderstorms, embedded tornadoes with this, a big-time flooding threat. I mean, really, this flooding risk is going to be quite high with this line, this complex, moving up to the northeast. Let's go back up let's just go work our way down the line of storms here. So let's go up into Ponca City, Perry, Noble County. You can see in the last couple of hours, this is the last 2 hours, how all of these storms just went up. And now moving into we got a flooding threat that's really starting to ramp up here. So Perry, tornado warning continues. As you can see right here, it's going to Perry. Hail core just north of Perry Airport. That's lifting away from town. So Perry Airport in northern parts of Noble County, watching this, still finding areas of rotation. Definitely a lot of strong winds within it. Not finding at least the tornadic threat that we saw earlier with this line, like what we had when it was south of, say, Kingfisher, Watauga, when it was producing all these tornadoes. Let's put a storm track up to the northeast. Let's go out to Michael. Michael, after you we go. You're back in Hennessey. Give us an update.
Dangerous situation. We have debris flying. We can barely see down the road. Anywhere to the east of Hennessey, take your tornado precautions. Do it right now. This is a very, very dangerous storm right now. Watch out, Kyle. There's people parked in the road here. Flash flooding is also beginning to be a problem here. I can see a lot of, I don't know what this guy's doing. Man, this is mayhem. People need to get home and get off the roads. My goodness. It looks like they're going to the school here. People are, they're going into the school to take, yeah, there's a bunch of people standing outside underneath the awning, though. They're at the gymnasium here in Hennessey. Get inside, folks. This is a dangerous storm that's coming in just in Hennessey, and there is strong, strong rotation just on the east side of Hennessey right now.
Yeah, we definitely see that. So a couple things to hit up right now. The tornado warning has been canceled for Noble County. The tornado warning has been canceled for Noble County, but this storm, and you saw it earlier, I mean, Michael shows you that tornado there down by Hennessey. Looks like everyone's headed towards the school there into what appears to be a shelter, although they are standing outside. But putting a storm track with this cell, moving up to the northeast, Marshall 512. Covington 523, and then we go back into Perry at 553. Good news, at least, about this storm as it continues to move up to the northeast, is that it's expected to probably at least come down a bit with the tornado threat as the atmosphere has become at least a little bit more stable with those storms coming over Perry earlier. Still, though, across Noble County, got to keep a close eye on this one for you. And right now, we're watching this storm that's going to be over Hennessey. That's where Michael is currently located. You saw that tornado there. It was brief, but it spun up there fast earlier right in front of Michael's shot. And so because of Michael's warning there, definitely got the message out with this right here. So tornado warning for Hennessey, as we saw there, moving up to the northeast. Jonathan, looking at all of these cells closely, this storm looks fairly significant. We've pretty much now severe warned this entire line all the way out to the west. However, out across western Oklahoma, Elk City, we have not seen a warning yet. Okay, we're about to see a warning. About to get a warning. Okay, so this entire line is getting warned on severe, but that tornado threat's now shifting down to the southwest.
It is, Damon. So you know, number one, the storms that we have across northern Oklahoma, they're either on the warm front. So basically, here's the warm front. Those storms are on the warm front. A little bit north of it's going to be very cold. South of it's very warm. This all has strong inflow to each one of these little kind of cells. And we're watching this. North of the front, you're probably going to just have cold rain and hail, but anything that's on that warm front, you got to watch out for the tornado risk. We're watching that very closely. Visibility is so low because the cloud bases are so low. When you have tornado genesis with some of these, I think we're morphing from a classic supercell setup now across north central Oklahoma to kind of this hybrid deal where all the cells, the supercells, are now kind of linked in together. We're going to have tornado warnings possibly on the line. So we have severe thunderstorm warnings in a tornado watch. People need to really pay attention. This can change really quick. If you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, I want you almost to treat it like a tornado warning. That's how fast it can happen. So we're watching these very closely. This is also going to transition into a major flash flooding event for tonight because this area is getting the training effect. Storms are moving over the exact same area, and that will likely trump the tornado risk that we're seeing for that area right now. Flash flooding will be the major issue from north central Oklahoma. We're clear right now to the southwest of OKC. It looked like there were a few storms trying to go up east of the metro. They haven't become, well-based. There's just a couple showers. Got to watch those very closely. But then again, very concerned for the storms across southwestern Oklahoma. Look at this storm. It is the lone storm. There is nothing around it. If it was hooked up in the line, I would say, okay, it's going to struggle to get some inflow into it. But look at this storm. It is literally miles away. It's 50 miles from the Memphis storm. It's 50 miles from Shane's storm. This storm is the lone storm. This is the one that potentially could become the long track supercell that marches across southwestern Oklahoma, maybe produces strong tornadoes and long track tornadoes for several hours. Let's go out to Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones, boy, you're intercepting that storm right now. I'm not liking what I'm seeing on radar there, Stephen.
I'm currently looking at radar, and we are currently seeing the rotation really starting to uptick. This is what we would call a classic supercell. So this storm will have the potential to produce a strong to violent tornado with the type of wind shear that it's in right now. Down here in southwest Oklahoma is a pocket that's been unimpeded by clouds, sunshine, or other storms all day. So this storm's all by itself, and that is a big problem. We could potentially see this is going to be the storm that's going to potentially produce those long track, strong to even maybe violent tornadoes. Back to you.
All right, Stephen Jones, boy, we appreciate everything that you're doing, intercepting the storm down near Russell, Hollis, and McQueen. Tornado warning right now, that goes until 5:15. But again, this is the rogue supercell. It's all by itself. Again, Damon, that is the one I am most concerned about for the highest tornado threat out of all these cells right now. Really concerned about that one.
I'm right there with you on that one. That's all by itself. So let's reconnect. Let's look at the big picture. Let's go back up to the north. For those of you in Ponca City, Perry, northern Oklahoma, our tornado warning that we had with that storm that started in Canadian counties, started in El Reno, went all the way to Perry. That tornado warning is no longer in effect. It's now a severe thunderstorm warning for quarter-size hail. It went to 60 miles per hour. That is what the atmosphere is like out across northern Oklahoma, is that it is much more stable. So we're seeing at least a threat come down out across the north. That's a good thing, right? But still, for those of us that are in Ponca City, Perry, up towards Newkirk, out across northern Oklahoma, your threat is coming down. Michael, field meteorologist Michael Armstrong on this cell that is just outside of Hennessey, continues to be one of the more dominant ones right now within this cluster. Michael, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Absolutely horizontal rain. This is blinding rain. Damon, I was really concerned there for Hennessey because this is exactly what we tell people not to do. Don't get out and try to drive in a storm. There were so many people out and they waited too long. The sirens were sounding, but watching the chaos there in town, it makes me fearful for the rest of the day. You please, people, do not wait. Don't wait for storms to approach you before you make your decision. Shelter in place. If the storm that has rotation, if the sirens are sounding, if the tornado warning sirens are going off, listen, you can't wait. You cannot wait with these storms. I plead with people, do not wait to make a decision to get out in your car and drive. There's going to be horrendous flash flooding, especially here right now. It looks like up around northern Oklahoma near this warm front. And Damon, we have a very strong rotation just to our east. We're trying to catch up to it, but the winds again are just cranking the rain right in front of us, and it's just horizontal blinding rain up here east to Hennessey. We have a new storm that's going up near Lovell again, and you remember we showed you the tornado earlier near Lovell, and now we have a new storm going up over there along the warm front. So this continues to be dangerous situation up here to the north, up across parts of Garfield County, parts of also Kingfisher County, and over into Logan County as well, even into Noble County there near Perry. So everybody along the warm front up in here, watch out.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we need to talk about at 4:55. If you're just now getting home from work, the tornado threat continues. We have a PDS tornado watch. We're not even close to seeing the threat over. We've only been in this situation now for about 2 hours, but the flooding potential that we are about to see unfold across the state is going to be incredibly, and I mean incredibly high. Some of the newest data that we have coming in, we're going to squeeze out close to 9 inches of rain. That's what some of the newest data is showing us. 9 inches of rain, lots of widespread 5 to 7 and 8 inches of rain, but close to 9 inches of rain when all is said and done for northern Oklahoma and down towards Oklahoma City. So we have a tremendous flooding threat that is unfolding. And you can see here, these storms continue out to the west. So severe thunderstorm warning this is an extension. We originally had a tornado warning. Now it's a severe thunderstorm warning. But we're going to go out to Buck King out across western Oklahoma. Buck, give us an update. Where are you and what are you seeing?
Hi, Damon. I'm on the same storm that Shane's been on for the last hour or so, and just kind of giving you a shot here, a good idea of the amount of rain that you're talking about that's going to cause all this flooding. You can see the road just covered with water. You can see the amount of water that the truck is throwing up in front of me. As far as the storm goes, it's pretty disorganized. It's just like Shane has been describing it. There's nothing that's very pronounced at all. In fact, they've dropped the tornado warning off of it, but it is dropping a lot of rain. Back to you.
We are watching your storm closely once again out across western Oklahoma. Buck King and Shane Helton are both out from Elk City, Sayer, out towards Hexo. That report very helpful for us, which is why the tornado warning has been dropped for the time being. Doesn't mean it can't be reissued, but at least it's dropped for the time being. Although now more thunderstorms happening out across the Texas Panhandle, moving up to the northeast. So this is going to be a long evening, a very long evening for us across Oklahoma as we continue to see just these waves of storms. And really the dynamics are going to get even worse as we get closer to sunset. Abigail, I know you've been watching the news feed very closely. Give us an update on what you have there at the news desk.
As you continue to watch the live look on the left-hand side of your screen from field meteorologist Michael Armstrong near Hennessey, I've been speaking to people there, including the police department. It was a very chaotic scene. Michael called it mayhem, said debris was flying across the road. The rain was horizontal. What you were seeing, people were rushing to seek shelter at the old gym off of Main Street. It's down there by the library. And when I was talking to these people, Damon, it was a frantic situation. I asked if they had any damage, any injuries, and they said at this point they're just trying to wrap their heads around what exactly happened. So I'm going to give them a few more minutes, call them back to get an update. But of course, we don't want to bother the police while they're actually doing their job. But so we'll get an update from Hennessey in just a couple of minutes. I'm also in contact with my friends in Elk City. We met 2 years ago, almost to the day, covering that deadly and devastating tornado out there, Damon. They said that the sky to their west was black. So they have now gone into their storm shelters and they're watching on their phones and listening over radio. Back to you.
Yeah, and if they don't have a storm shelter, innermost room of their house is okay. Again, they're under a severe thunderstorm warning. So brand new tornado warning was just issued for this cell that Stephen Jones is currently on. You can see this well-defined inflow right there, moving up to the northeast very quickly. This still remains to be this is still that isolated storm, the one that's really going to become pretty significant as it is all by itself. Moving up to the northeast, goes into Russell, Mangum, Willow, Granite, Lugert, Lone Wolf, between a tornado warned cell that we currently have in the state down across southwestern Oklahoma, and that rotation is definitely ramping up. This is the storm that we were most concerned about today. This was the storm that we're most concerned about, all by itself, and an atmosphere that is very unstable. Stephen is looking right into this, and our rotation tracker is definitely beginning to ramp up. You can see all that lightning there in the distance coming up on this storm, but Stephen is very close and tied into the storm, and yeah, this thing is probably about to produce a tornado. A brand new tornado warning was just issued. That's going to be where we have Storm Command out near Marshall. This is going to be the storm that Michael was on that produced that tornado near Hennessey not that long ago. So now we're working two tornado warnings in the state right now. This one moving up to the northeast goes into Lovell at 5:01. We go back into Perry at 5:32. Sumner at 5:47. Bill's Corner, which we had that on cue there east of Perry at about 5:50. Let's go out to field meteorologist Michael Armstrong. Michael, brand new tornado warning just issued. Give us an update.
Damon, look at the rain curtains wrapping right here in front of me. This is on Highway 51, back to the east of Hennessey. And I'll tell you what, I've been able to see a visual on a tornado yet. I'll tell you what, this area is extremely dangerous. We just had a brand new storm, the one I was telling you about, near Lovell go up, and we just have, we have horrendous winds out of the north. We have been driving and driving and driving, trying to get out of the rain, and it just keeps engulfing us because of how rapidly the storm is developing. Anywhere who lives, my gosh, Kyle, just keep going down 51. We gotta get east of Highway 74 here, Damon. This is very, very dangerous near Lovell. Back up to the northeast, basically the same track that the other storm took. It's almost exactly the same track that the other storm took.
Yeah, Michael, you're right.
Yeah,
Michael, we were just saying that. We see people braking pretty hard in front of you, so definitely you can tell conditions are getting even worse. Let's keep the shot. Let's put the radar up so we can show those that are in the path, and that is what we were watching. So that rotation is really ramped up in just the last few moments, right in front of Michael. Michael, if you can hear us, our radar is now picking up moderate rotation right in front of you. I mean, literally less than. Here's a few hundred yards. If there's a tornado developing, it's happening right in front of Michael. And that is why people are slamming on the brakes, because things are going from bad to even worse. You can see that inflow and that hook right. Ooh, power. Michael.
Power flash.
Yeah, Michael, we see that, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, we just heard power flash right here. Kyle just saw a power flash right in front of us. I was looking out my. Oh, there it is. Yeah, another power flash right there. This is with north winds. So apparently it's got a transformer's blown right here in front of us. I don't know, or it's just arcing. Yeah, it's coming off those power lines right there. That's what I'm telling you. The winds are coming out of the north so strong that we can't see anything. We've got to get east, Kyle.
Yeah, Michael, we saw those power flashes, the arcing power lines there. We saw those flashes. Definitely people are driving very slowly, rightfully so. But that rotation, Michael, it's right in front of you, right in front of you. This is not a good situation right here with this storm. Let's go back over to the radar. So this is where Michael, so there's Tyler and Mecca. Here's going to be the inflow. On this storm right here. So Michael's actually going to be right here. He's going to be up in the north, up near Lovell. So this cell, you see a lot of people there pulling off on the side of the road. I'm always concerned when you see that rain that's going to be that heavy coming in. So Michael's right there in the hail core of it. That's the inflow from Lovell, north of Crescent. This is lifting up to the northeast. Definitely, Jonathan, how's the rotation tracker look on this one? Let's pop that up and see what the rotation is looking like within that cell, because this storm definitely continues to show a well-defined inflow notch coming in with this. Once again, moving up to the northeast. So that storm still showing signs of rotation. You saw the strong winds and the power flashes there in front of Michael's shot. This is the same storm that produced that tornado near Hennessey moments ago. This line continues to move up to the northeast. So once again, looking at a tornado warning with this cell. This is north of Guthrie. It's going to be northern Logan County, moving back towards Perry. You can see all those that are included in this storm track here. Covington, Perry Elementary, 532. Morrison down to Bill's Corner. And Bill's Corner, really, if you're east of Noble, you know that as the place where they have the on cue. Let's go back out to Michael. Michael, we see visibility is really tough where you are, Michael. Give us an update on what you're seeing.
Oh, yeah, visibility's terrible right here, and the wind gusts coming out of the north, whipping the rain across the road is just nothing short of remarkable. I mean, I feel for people out here having to drive. I mean, we're out here doing it. We're trying to make sure that people have the information they need to keep their families safe. But I have seen so many people on the roads. After all the information that we've given for days, it's just shocking. I can't say it enough. People, if you can go home and just stay there and be able to shelter in place or whatever you need to do. But there are leaves all over the road here. We may have had a tornado cross here. I don't know. But there's a bunch of leaves down here now. I'm not seeing whole trees down or anything like that. But the conditions out here are just absolutely horrendous.
Well, yeah, we definitely see that there. And Michael, it looks like you're about to pop out of the rain core, but still, this storm needs to be monitored. Jonathan, let's pull on out. Let's go up into northern Oklahoma. Give those an update in Noble County. Okay, Stephen, the southwestern Oklahoma. Stephen, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Hey, Damon, we are seeing a rapidly developing wall cloud, very significant rotation ongoing at the moment. Looks like we may have to reposition here to the east as the RFD is swinging around this storm. It is looking like it is setting up to possibly produce a significant tornado. So we're keeping our eyes on it right now, and I'll yell at you as soon as we see a tornado. Back to you.
Stephen Jones, tracking a storm near Russell, Oklahoma. The storm is tracking towards Mangum. Again, this is a storm. You're looking at two things right now. Michael Armstrong is near Marshall on the left, and then on the right, there's Stephen Jones. And Stephen Jones is in just the right spot. He is literally in the hook. If we could do a split screen with radar and with his picture so we can show you exactly where he's at, there you go. He's right in the hook. Stephen's in the right spot if this storm produces a tornado, just like when he tracked the tornado about 2 weeks ago. Was that near Rocky? He was right there. Stephen Jones right in the right spot. Again, this is a rogue supercell, nothing out in front of it. It is going to just draw in all the extreme heat and humidity that's out in front. If it was back in the line, maybe we'd be struggling with the other storms for the inflow. But again, that storm is the lone storm. That is the one to watch for the night. So again, Chris Lee coming in on that one. Stephen Jones coming in on this one, doing a quick storm track, moving northeast pretty quick, about 40 miles an hour. Coming in the Lone Wolf about 547. Again, fast-moving supercell could be the dominant long track supercell of the evening. But again, Damon, this is quite the mess up north, and we're really concerned about the storm that Michael's on also.
Yeah, we are. So this tornado warning that we have.
I don't. So, is that Michael Armstrong's picture that we're looking at on the left-hand side? Is that the right one? Yeah, that's Stephen Jones on the left. Okay, so you got to understand, you're looking at Stephen Jones on the left, and now we're going to show you where Michael Armstrong is at. Let's get Michael lined up and talk to Michael here in just a second, because the overall cell that's coming into Orlando is very strong. It's starting to look more like more of a classic supercell versus kind of that hybrid. Michael, looking at the storms, looking pretty strong on radar.
Yeah, we are under the circulation. We're inside the bear's cage yet again with this storm. It is going to pass probably just to the west of Orlando. Got a funnel right here just to my, look at this. Oh my gosh, this thing, you have to be in tight with these because the cloud bases are so low you can't see them from very far away. But that's why we're doing what we're doing. We want to let people know exactly where the tornadoes are, and you can see my location, guys. It's due north of me. So plot me on radar, and I'll tell you it's 1 to 2 miles due north of me is where that funnel just occurred, and so that's going to be 5 to 6 miles west of Orlando. It is lifting up to the northeast, and that could come up toward Perry. I know you've already been. Oh my gosh, look at the rotation right there. Oh my goodness. That is incredible.
Mike,
guys, this is serious stuff.
Michael, it is. Yeah, it is really serious, and that's obviously why we were here. This is what Michael is talking about right here. He was on this storm when it produced that first tornado out near Hennessey. Continues to move up to the northeast. Fast-moving line of storms. This tornado warning goes all the way up into pretty much Pawnee County. K County, this tornado warning cell is going to stay just south of you. And we can get a good idea as to what this storm is going to do, because a previous storm, once it went up towards the Perry Airport, it started to fall apart. So, and from a rotation standpoint, still ongoing with heavy rain. But this cell right here is coming in from Michael. He's currently near Orlando, and he is very much in the inflow of this cell, punched out of the rain. And now you can see this cell continues to at least show that sign of rotation moving up to the northeast. So let's keep a shot up. Let's go back over to the radar. That's exactly where Michael's going to be located, near Orlando. Moving up towards Orlando, 514. Lake McMurtry, 529. Stillwater Airport, 536. Downtown, or Sumner, 539. Bill's Corner, popular spot. I said it before, I'll say it again. That's tornado. Michael, we got a low-level lock on our radar. Michael, give us an update.
Yeah, tornado right now. Tornado. Watch out, Kyle. Just watch out right here. Yeah, there. I just saw a visible condensation funnel all the way to the ground, just to my north. This is happening right here with me, guys. You can see it right there in my shot. You can see it right there, right over top of that building.
Yeah, Michael, we see it.
Man,
okay, so yeah, we got
rotation in here is so intense.
Yeah, we see that right there. That is it coming down. Looks like visibility getting a little obscured there on the bottom toward the base. But yeah, we did see that there just past those homes. So definitely another confirmed tornado as the storm continues to move up to the northeast here. It's going to be wrapped in that rain. It's going to be wrapped in that set of gray clouds that you see just to the west. Let's keep the shot up. Let's go back over to the radar. our radar is now pinging a low-level lock. When you see those spinning rings, that means that we're starting to see that twisting in the atmosphere there at the lowest levels, which is exactly where Michael is located. So Orlando 514, Stillwater 536. An update. When I was saying about Bill's Corner, that's where that the on-Q is going to be located just east of Perry. So there's an on-Q there. We're going to Morrison at 545, Glencoe 549. Sooner Lake 550. We'll go down to Pawnee at 6 o'clock. It is currently 5:11. You're watching KOCU 5 News at 5 o'clock. And once again, the big story continues to be the risk for severe weather, the threat for tornadoes. PDS Tornado Watch was issued earlier today at about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and it goes until 10 o'clock. So we still have about another 5 hours to go before this tornado watch is going to be expiring. However, we're talking about many hazards for today, not just a tornado threat, but also the risk for some incredibly heavy rain. Some of the newest model data that we have had coming in today has been showing that we can pick up widespread 5 to 7 inches of rain north of I-40, 9 inches of rain. Last check on the data that we had coming in showed close to 9 inches of rain right here in Oklahoma City as we go into the overnight. We're going to get into a big-time flooding threat. And so I know a lot of times we focus on the tornado risk, which is what we're focusing on now. But as we go later into tonight, we're going to begin to focus on the flooding potential that's going to be rolling in as well. You can see our radar still continues to have a low-level lock with this cell moving up to the northeast, and we're still finding at least that area of now moderate rotation. And it's picking. Okay, Steven, let's go out to Steven. Steven Jones. Steven.
Go, Steven.